All right, happy Monday. Today we are talking about how to be a millionaire, right? What do millionaires and seven-figure, eight-figure earners, we're talking to people who earn a lot of income. What do they do differently than what we're doing right now? If you're not at that point, if you're not earning that kind of income and that's where you want to go, probably it's a good idea to understand what it is they're doing, and then we can use that information, apply it to what we're doing, right? And change the trajectory of our future. So that is where we're going today. It is Millionaire Success Secrets Day. We're going to walk through three. If we have time, I'll add number four. We'll put that in as a bonus. You'll want to stay to the end of this because I'm also going to give you information on something that you have access to immediately that can fit right in here with being a millionaire, a seven-figure plus earner. Okay. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, the first thing we need to think about when it comes time to changing our financial future is the way we think and the actions we take. So that's what we're going to be exploring today. That's where those three secrets are going to go. Before we dig into that, I want to ask you, where are you at today, right now? What are you dealing with? Let me pull my notes. I forgot my notes. What are you dealing with in your life right now that you are not particularly satisfied with? Is it the way your life is going financially? Is it more about, honestly, it can be anything, right? Is this something that has to do with a past decision you made that now you're trying to catch up? Did you get behind on things financially? We've all been there. I'll be honest. I've been there. It's something that it feels horrible when you know that you can't pay all the bills, or when you're looking at the future and you're thinking, heck, I hope something doesn't happen to me, because if something happens to me health wise, I don't have what I need to be able to afford care. I'll give you an example, right? I grind my teeth at night. So a couple years ago, I cracked a tooth. And I knew that I did not have the money to cover what I needed to do to have that tooth extracted, to have, an implant, a dental implant put in. It was a serious concern for my health. We won't go to how serious it got. But the fact is, I didn't want to go get the care I needed because I knew I couldn't really afford it. You don't want to be in that position. I was really ashamed. I felt guilty. I didn't even tell anyone in my family because I was so embarrassed and ashamed. Like, no one knew. I didn't want to have to tell anyone that. Have you been in that kind of a situation? If you have, not healthcare necessarily, but any kind of a situation where you really had this sense of panic and deep fear because you knew that the bank account did not have what you needed to take care of that need. Say yes, or me, right? Me, if that's you. And if you feel like sharing that, please, I would love to hear it. You don't have to put it out here. You can message me. Actually, if you want, you can find me over on Facebook and message me there. Okay. And if you want to talk about that, I am all for supporting you in that. We all need that sometimes, where we're kind of panicked and we need a solution. So these are going to be solutions for what we're talking about today. No more worrying about what's going to happen next week, next month, next year. No more regrets, no more feeling guilty, no more really feeling disappointed about the fact that you haven't really gotten to accomplish what you want to accomplish in life and you don't see that happening. You don't see a path to get there. Oh, isn't that the worst feeling? I can feel that feeling just right now. Just thinking about that. Oh, I hate that feeling. It's that feeling of dread, right? Let's get rid of that and we can take control. We can get back on track where we want to go. Us Gen Xers, we've dealt with a lot in our lives already, right? And let's be real, we're savvy, we're survivors. But let's go from surviving to thriving, as I say. We don't want to just survive, we want to thrive. So I'm Shauna St. James. If we have not met, if this is the first time you're here, I have helped over 5,000 people in the last 5 years, 10 years I've had my business, but in the last 5 years, I transitioned over to helping other entrepreneurs, creatives, and makers because I was a professional artist. I'm still a professional artist. I just don't do that as much as I used to, right? Help them transition their business from doing, physical shows, getting into all these places, having to travel, having to have inventory, to transitioning into an online business where they can sell their work and their products globally. The access is beyond just having a website sitting out there. If you've ever had a business online and you've tried to just build a website and tried to sell off that, you know that it doesn't just work to build it and they will come. I made that mistake. Oh my gosh. I invested. I mean, I believed that lie for so long, right? The answer was always just have a website, have a website. That's how you'll be able to be successful. Well, that's all great. I spent the first website I ever invested in, I didn't have any tech skills. I'm now tech savvy. I've spent a lot of years and a lot of money learning that. I'll tell you more about that. But the fact is, I thought I had to have a website and that was going to be the solution. That was going to solve my problem. I was going to be successful if I had a professional website. So I spent the money. I invested $5,000 with a web designer who actually gave me a huge discount because she was a friend to build my website. Well, guess what? That wasn't the answer because I didn't know how to market and promote myself online properly, right? I didn't know how to create a following. I didn't know how to create a quote lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? I know, I didn't know either, right? A lead magnet is a valuable piece of content that you put out there that your ideal customer will want so that you can build your email list, right? They hit a landing page, they type in their email, boom, this magical thing that you've created gets delivered in their email inbox, and now they are on your email list that has all kinds of things happen behind the scenes. I didn't know any of that. And if you've never done this, you're probably like, Shauna, I don't know what you're talking about. You're speaking Greek to me. I get it. And we can solve that problem. Part of what we're talking about here is having a CEO mindset. I didn't have a CEO mindset when I started my business. That was one of the biggest mistakes I made. Okay? You don't have to make that mistake. We're going to cover the top 3 millionaire success secrets so you can avoid that mistake if you are looking into starting an online business. Or maybe you haven't even made that decision. You're just trying to figure out how you're going to get some extra income between now and when you're 65 or 70, because you don't want to work until you're 85, at least not as hard as you're working now, because you're probably feeling really overworked and burnt out, and you're actually ready to not be working that hard anymore, but you don't have what you need financially. You don't have that retirement fund. You don't have what you need to be able to go, okay, I can relax a little bit. We're going to talk about an opportunity that will change that for you. Kind of, I'll be sprinkling that information in throughout this today. And then if you want to know more information about it, I'll tell you how to get that at the end. Okay? Because I'm telling you, it is the hottest in demand opportunity right now. This is the time to jump in. I'll talk about that later. Okay. So here we go. The first thing you need, right, is a CEO mindset. What is a CEO mindset? A CEO mindset never doubts that they can be successful. Number one, they just never doubt it. That was one of the, so Sir Richard Branson, if you know who he is, right? He's the Virgin guy. Let me find a marker here. One of the things he talks about is it never crosses his mind that when he thinks of something he wants to accomplish, that he can't do it. Never cross. Doubt never enters his mind. That is a CEO mindset. It's not necessarily, okay, how am I going to figure this all out on my own? The first questions he asks, the first question he asks himself with a CEO mindset is, who can help me get this done? Not how can I get this done? Who can help me? That is a completely different question, is it not? Because right there, the CEO mindset, there's a sense of power and humility all blended into one there, because you're already open-minded enough to think, yeah, I can't figure this out on my own, but not even I can't, I don't have to figure this out on my own. Let me get help with people who know how to do this. It's about saving time. It's about saving energy, right? That is so powerful, right? So let's write this down here. Millionaire. Okay, millionaire success secret. Number one. What did we just say it was? Number one, CEO mindset. How many of you get out there when you decide that you want to do something and you just try to figure it all out yourself? How many of you are still doing that now? Oh my gosh, I did. I did. I wasted, remember when I was talking about the website, I wasted 6 months trying to figure out how to build a website myself before I figured out that's silly. That is not a smart use of my time. I can find someone who can do it for me. Now, where did that, let's just go to the real nitty gritty. Where did that first 5,000 come from? Well, that came from my personal funds, right? I didn't have an investor. I didn't have someone financially backing me. I had to have the capital, the startup, to start that website. That's on top of all the expenses that I spent as an artist, as far as supplies go, as far as everything I needed to travel to go to shows, right? The tent, the panels, the lights, the trailer, the the all-wheel drive vehicle Denali to haul all the stuff, the travel expenses, the gas, the food, the lodging. We're talking a huge capital startup investment just to get a business going. Did you know that you don't have to do that to have a really successful business? Part of a CEO mindset, right, is the, we're talking right, the who, not what. And right here, ROI, return on investment. Right away calculating the ROI above all else, because I wasn't considering that when I was looking at my business. It's just something I knew I wanted to do deep down in my heart. I really didn't have it mapped out how long it was what I needed to have to get started the right way, and how long it was going to take me to get my return on investment. I didn't really have a solid business plan on how that was going to happen. That's not functioning with the CEO mindset. Most of us don't have a CEO mindset because we've always had a job where someone else is making all those decisions and we just do what we're told. It's kind of what school trains us to do, right? I won't get into the whole school system because I went through it, my kids went through it, we all did it. But school does not teach you to think like a CEO. School teaches you to follow instructions and do what you're told. And that's how most of us think. So when it comes time to being successful and being your own boss, we have to reframe everything. We have to start from scratch, which is okay. It's totally fixable. It's something we can learn. It's a skill, but we have to realize that we have to switch gears, right? That we have to build some new neural pathways in order for that to happen. Okay. So, whatever it is, wherever it is you're functioning from right now, you're going to have to change that. You're going to have to change that. And that's, like I said, it's no, I don't want you to feel bad about that. It's just an awareness that we need to have, because once we're aware of it, then we can start rebuilding the pathway to where we want to go. Okay. CEO mindset, specific goals. Oh my gosh. Right? We've heard of SMART goals, right? Ooh, I can't even remember that. Um, I can't remember what that acronym stands for. They're very specific, they're time bound, right? They have a plan with them. It's not just something that we're going, yeah, no, I just want to make more money this year. That's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal is something that says, I want to make 5,000 extra dollars every month from now, let's just say July of 2024 to December of 2024. I want to earn an extra $5,000 each month. And then you have a little plan, like an outline of how you're going to do that. I'm going to accomplish that by, right? And then you have the list of things that you're going to do, your checklist. And that's where I made my mistake. So I looked at it as, let's just go through it for a little example. I need to build a website. I need to have online inventory, a online store. I need to have an email provider. I need to, like, I made my checklist of all the things I needed. And then I set about trying to do them all myself instead of looking at it and going, okay, who is someone who could help me with this, get this done faster right away? I just took the slow road. It's so hard to get your return on your investment when you're doing it all yourself. So let's kind of switch gears. Having a CEO mindset. What is a way that you can quickly get a return on your investment? You can quickly have a business up and running that's in high demand. This is part of the other thing that I'm going to talk about, right? That you can go through and change your life in, 2 to 3 weeks. We're not talking about something that takes months and years. It can quickly turn everything around for you financially because you have the right product and You had the people you need to help you be successful with that. Did you know that there is an online digital business that has everything set for you? You don't have to build out your own product. You don't have to figure out how to get it out there, how to market it, how to sell it, because everything is included in that program. Mind blowing, you guys. I didn't have this knowledge when I was starting my own business. And I had decided that starting my own business was really what I wanted to do. It was partly because it was my calling. But here's the biggest reason. I wanted to be in control of my time. I didn't want to have to go in 9 to 5. I was a single parent raising 3 kids. I needed the flexibility to not have to always work when someone else was telling me to work. Now, obviously, when it comes to being an artist, you have to show up on certain dates at certain shows. And so I still wasn't in complete control of my time, but it was better than punching the clock from 8 to 5 and not being able to pick my kids up from school or not be able to get them where they needed to go for their next thing. And I know some of you have already, you've done that, you've been there. And, the trade-off for me was that because I made the choice not to do that. Now I'm playing catch up financially. You may be playing catch up for other reasons, right? Maybe you had to be a caregiver for one of your parents or your children, or maybe your company just unceremoniously just said, okay, you're done, and you got laid off. Whatever the reason is you're behind, it doesn't matter. We need to have a CEO mindset to get us on the path to recovery, right? Financial recovery. Okay. Okay. I could go into more depth here, but let's move on. Let's move on to um, focus. Focus. Okay. So what do I mean by focus? They focus their energy and time on the priorities. What are the highest priorities? They prioritize their time and energy by focusing on the income generation. We'll call it tasks. So, what does that mean? That goes back to, once again, part of the CEO mindset. It's not about, um, gosh, it's so easy to get distracted, right? But are you focusing on doing the things that are actually going to bring the income into your life, into your business? Or is your time being um, controlled by something else? And are you doing the things that actually don't make you money? I'll be honest, that's where I get stuck. Part of that is as an artist, right? I'm creative, so I always want to be creating something. But guess what? Creating new content, creating new products, creating new lead magnets, the content generation, those aren't the things that are actually funding, bringing in the income, right? Because what's going to bring in the income is actually promoting and marketing the product, not building new products. That's not a good way to spend my time, right? Spending time on emails, writing an email series. Guess what? I need to be looking at tools and systems and strategies that help me focus in the right way, right? Focusing on building the systems, focusing on using the right strategies, focus on getting the right tools that are going to help me be more productive. Let's say we'll call it focus on productivity equals dollars. Income generation activities. That's where they spend their main focus, because they know that their business isn't going to survive if they're not continually bringing money into the business. So instead of getting caught up in all the other stuff that pulls you away, right? We're talking about everything from keeping track of your receipts, right? And all your expenses. Do you have a tool to help you do that so that you can focus on selling and closing sales? That's what you need to be focusing time on, not organizing all your receipts. So having tools is going to help you do that. Having systems or having someone to help you do that, right? A tool could be a person. It doesn't have to be a piece of software. A tool could be a person who's going to help you get all that done. Are you doing the right things here that are going to actually put more income and money in your bank account? This is where I get lost a lot. I start focusing on the wrong things, kind of obsessing about something that's not going right. And instead of figuring out the quickest way to solve it, I just dig in and and spend too much time on that one thing when I could probably just move on to something else and that will fix itself in the background. Do you know what your top income generating tasks are? If you're working for someone else from 8 to 5 and you're like, Shauna, I don't know how in the heck I would add anything else that could generate more income for me. I get it, because I was there, right? Completely overwhelmed with what I was doing and burnt out. And then when I realized that I could do something that had automations and tools behind it, transformed my income earning capacity. So this brings us to number 3. Number 3 is they leverage their time. Right? No more trading dollars for hours. How are they leveraging their time? Can I can't ever tell which direction. How are they leveraging their time? They're using automations, which has to do with the tools, right? What are automations? You're like, Shauna, I don't know what you're talking about. What are automations? I don't know, you guys. I feel like I really like the Miro board better. I don't know. What do you think? Do you prefer Miro board where I do it on the screen, or do you prefer the writing? Let me know, because we'll do whichever. I feel like the Miro board is easier, but okay. Automations. Automations are their software systems that operate in the background that function when you are not working. Let's give you an example, because I know when I was starting this, I was like, okay, but what does that really apply to? An automation. I think, well, I kind of talked about one at the beginning. An automation is something where it happens without you. It just keeps working without you. And there are entire businesses that are built. All the income generating tasks are built on automations. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a business opportunity, that that was a way I could make some money. I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes because that is magical. Why is it magical? When you have things automated, it's working when you're not. You're leveraging your time. It doesn't take you to run it. It happens automatically. For example, an email campaign. What's an email campaign? Well, once you get someone into your email list, the how, we'll talk about that at another time. But once you get a lead and they're on your email list, do you want to have to write an email to them every single day? No. You want to have an email campaign that's automated, that delivers everything you need them to know. Let's say for 30 days, you have 30 emails that go out to every new person that joins your email list. So the first email they get says, "Hey, welcome. I'm so glad we've connected. Here's the thing that I promised you," right? Because usually you have a lead magnet to get someone. It's a trade, it's a value trade, right? I'll give you this thing of value if you give me your email address. It's a exchange of value. So the first email is delivering what you promised them that they would get when they entered their email. Email number one. Now, do you want to have to go in every single time someone joins your email and type in an email to that person the next day? If you had 30 people, right, coming in, you don't want to have to type an email every single email with, "Okay, here's your thing." You want that to be automated. Then the next day they get another email. "Hey, I hoped you really enjoyed the blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions about it, let me know here." Since maybe we haven't connected, let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I do, why I'm here, yada, yada, yada. Oh, be watching for tomorrow's email when I have another piece of training or content for you, another tool that will help you move forward, whatever it is you're offering, right? Maybe it's maybe like we talked about, maybe you're teaching someone how to play guitar, maybe you're giving someone some yoga or stretching tips, whatever it is you want to give. That's not the point. The point is all of that can be automated. So the next day, boom, you're in their email inbox again. "Hey, here's the next thing I promised you," right? "Here are the tips, the top 5 tips on how to blah, 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 blah." So what's your experience with da da da? Where are you at right now? What else can I help you with? Oh, by the way, you can get more free training over here if click this link and it'll take you to my Facebook group. Click this link, it'll take you to this YouTube video. Whatever it is you want to do. You're continually delivering value to them, and you can make your offer for your product all inside an email campaign. What if you had a business that wrote all those emails for you? So when you invested in the business, in the startup, you spent you only need one customer to buy it one time to get back all your ROI, your return on investment. That's a phenomenal return on investment. You only need to have one customer. You only need to make one sale. You've got all your money back that you put into it. And all of the things are set up and automated for you. You don't have to invent the emails. Not only that, but the whole campaign is proven to convert. What does convert mean? That means it's proven to close sales. For every 20 people that enter that email campaign, one person is actually going to purchase. So now you automatically have a goal. You're like, shoot, I just need to find 20 people each day, each week to make a sale. Holy moly. And all of those emails are proven to be high converting emails, high open rates. Did you know that on average, when we write an email for a business or whatever, and we're sending it out, the average email open rate is about 3 to 10%. That means 3 to 10% of the people that we send an email to actually open it. That's horrible. 30% is really good. Guess what? This email campaign that comes built and set up for you, the open rate is over 50%. Most people have about a 75% open rate. They're all proven. The formula is already worked out for you. They've already been tested. Talk about having powerful automations like that. You don't have to build them out. You don't have to come up with the email headlines that are going to catch people's attention. It's all built out for you. Talk about leveraging your time, right? Leveraging your time. Okay, what is the next way you leverage your time, right? The other way that I want to talk about as far as leveraging your time is (24/7). Okay, so they know how to, part of that's automations, but part of that leveraging time is they know how to have the income generating tasks operating 24/7. Does that mean they're personally working it 24/7? No. That means that they have everything set up in a system so that all they have to do is start the system and it runs 24/7. What is that system I'm talking about? I'm talking about your marketing and your promoting. Do you have a system for getting out there and marketing and promoting? Do you have a strategy? Whatever you're doing now, or if you're getting ready to start a business, guess what? You can actually have a business that gives all of that to you right away with the business, right? It's a business in a box plus everything you need to market it and promote it. Yeah, it almost does sound too good to be true, and I thought it was too good to be true. I thought, this can't be legit. This sounds too good. I'm telling you, it's a real thing and it works. It works. We just had, oh my gosh, I don't have that number with me. It's been over $8 million that was paid out in the last 71 days, 78 days to everyone who works this program, who offers this program. That's an income that can change your life, right? Here's what I love about it. When we're talking about automations, leveraging time, I gotta erase this. Here's the other powerful thing. Guess what? This is how they leverage their time. Multiple income streams. That means it's not just one way they're earning money, right? They're having income come into their bank accounts in several different ways, right? So, what are the ways that you can have multiple income streams? You could invest in a business right now that gives you 4 income streams, income stream opportunities within one business. So you can have an income stream that's 900 600, 300, and 100. You have four products that you can sell that are already pre-built for you, that are proven to help people get the results they want. Man, I'm telling you, that's where, okay, here's a story. Here's an embarrassing story. So my business, I loved what I was doing, but I was really, really overworked. I was having to work really hard to get that return on investment, much harder than it should have been. And here's what one of the, well, she's a multimillionaire top earner in the online space, right? Because I believe in what I preach, right? I don't try to do things on my own. I have help. So here's what, actually, this was top three coaches. I'll just name them so that you know who I've been coached by, because that's the coaching you're getting. So one was Molly Mahoney, one was Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels, and the other person, oh shoot, Frank Kern. Look those up and you'll see who they are. I had these top people in the industry tell me straight to my face, person to person, Shauna, your product does not have a high enough demand. Your ideal customer is not willing to pay the value of your product. Meaning, I didn't have a viable business because no matter what I did, I wasn't going to have a customer who would be willing to pay for my product. I'd put 3 years into this, and they're saying, yeah, what you have is a really good product. What you are delivering is powerful, but guess what? It's not it's not going to earn you any money because you don't have a customer who believes in that value. And no matter what you do, two of these people said, yeah, you know what? I left that space, that market niche, because that customer does not value the product. It's not a viable product in that market, in that niche. I just, it's devastating when you know you've spent years building something and you know it's really good and they tell you it's really good, but guess what? There's not enough demand for it in the marketplace where they value it to actually pay for it. So you don't have a sustainable business. I didn't have a sustainable business. What if you could have a business that's pre-built, the products are pre-built for you, that is one of the highest in demand businesses right now, highest in demand products in the online space right now. We're talking digital marketing right now, $1.2 billion a day. That's how high the demand is. That's how much money is flowing through. Predicted by 2030 to grow to more than a trillion. Do you think there's opportunity there? Do you think that's a viable business? Yeah, it's a huge viable business. Oh my gosh. That's why I did it. That's why I jumped in. I had to switch gears. I had to be able to leverage my time. I had to think like a CEO. What's the quickest way to get a return on investment? I'm wanting to generate income. Yeah, I have a purpose. My purpose overall is to help people transform their lives so that they can thrive, not survive. Did I do that with my art? Yes. Did I do that by helping creatives work in their online businesses, create online businesses that were going to help them sell their product? Yes. Was that the highest return on my investment? Now, we're not just talking dollars, we're talking time and energy. No, it was not being productive. It was not a sustainable business. I had to switch gears. So I looked for a higher in demand product that people valued, that I could stand behind and believe in, that I could still get 100% profit. I didn't want to go and sell someone else's business or company or product and only make a portion, because I'd done that, right? That's what affiliate marketing is. Are you familiar with affiliate marketing? That's where you sell someone else's product and you get a percentage of what it is that the product is priced at. And I'm not saying that's not good, but it's not the best way to get to earn. You've got to sell a lot more, right? If you're only getting 30% of $100 versus a full $100, you got to sell three to get $100 versus just one to get $100. That makes sense. That's logical. There's a business that you can do that because technically you own your own business, but this program gives you everything you need to market, gives you a whole marketing plan, it gives you a community of people. We're talking real life people, not just a course. That was a mistake I made before. I'd invested in courses on how to do this stuff, and guess what? You don't know if you're doing it right. And if you don't know you're doing it right, or you're not getting results, like you're out there doing it, but you're not seeing any results, how do you know if you're doing it right? Well, you have people in this situation to talk to. That would have made a world of difference. And you're not going to have to spend $30,000 like I did to have someone tell you that your business is not viable because it's already proven. There are already people making six figures and seven figures with this program. I know. I know. It's unbelievable that this is out there and this is available. And it's a simple way to change the trajectory of your future. Us Gen Xers are running out of time. We're running out of time to get where we want to go. We're running out of time to secure our future. At best, the average they say is like, 75 years. You have 75 years of, health and being able to do what you want to do. And after 75 years, things slow down and you don't have as much opportunity to do what you want to do. We're running out of time, guys. What do you want to do with the rest of your time? Do you want to keep working 8 to 5 because you don't have what you need to be able to stop working? Guess what? You can leverage your time. You can have a business that you only takes you 2 hours a day to do your income generating activities. 2 hours, 4 hours max. Like when you're first starting and you're learning the whole system, give yourself 4 hours max. But 2 hours a day to be able to make 900, 600, 300, 100, 4 different income streams. I just can't get over it. I know that I sound like a crazy broken record, but I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this opportunity. And there is a window, right? There's a window for when this opportunity will close. If you don't start now, if you start too late, you're going to be behind the game. The window won't be as big. But if you get established in the marketplace now as a leader in the online digital space, you have a sustainable business that will always bring you the income that you need in your golden years when you don't want to work 9 to 5, or you can't work 9 to 5 because it's automated. It's working when you're asleep. I think Warren Buffett, he's like, if you can't figure out something that's going to help you make money when you sleep, you're never going to have enough. That's what this does. Phenomenal, phenomenal. So this program is called Legacy Builders. If you want to know more about it, you could put legacy in the chat below. And I'll send you the blueprint of how this business works. How is this business creating six figures, seven figures for people who are just like you and me, who are trying to play catch up? And you can do this even while you're still working your other job. Now, we have several people in our community. I should have actually screenshot those testimonies. We have several people in our community who are already quitting their 9 to 5 businesses because they're generating $1 million. They're generating, $350,000 a year doing this in 2 to 4 hours a day. Gosh, how much better would your life be? How much better would Christmas be this year? Would you finally be able to take the trip? Would you finally be able to get the car that you've always wanted? Would you not have to worry about the next healthcare emergency like mine? I told you that story at the beginning. Real story. Do you not have to hide? Do you not have to feel like you have to keep secrets from your family or your friends about how you're not doing as well as you want everyone to think you are? You don't really want to have to admit how bad things are, right? So you're kind of keeping things hidden. That's where I was. It's kind of embarrassing, but true. I was really ashamed of where I was at. I just kept looking at life going, this isn't how it's supposed to be. This is not what I planned for my future. This doesn't fit who you are, right? It doesn't represent you. Let's change it. Let's change it. Let's change it. Type legacy. Here's what you get. When you type legacy below, I'm going to connect with you. And I'm going to make sure that you get the blueprint, the business blueprint to how you can run this online digital business. It's 5 steps. It's 5 steps that you actually work through, that you are taught inside the program so you can learn while you're earning, right? You're earning. Once you invest in the business, boom, it's yours to offer for 100% profit. And you get to learn how to keep earning more with it, because everything you need to be able to be profitable, to be able to really attract your customers, is built inside the product, inside the program. Okay. All right. So the CEO mindset, right? The first thing we need is we've got to have the mindset. We got to be able to do goals. We have to know how to prioritize our time. We don't want to be, and we need to know how to leverage our time. Like, which priorities, what are the highest return on investment, income generating activities we need to be focusing on? What's the mindset we need to have? What are our goals? Who are we going to get to help us? Do you have the mindset that you can be successful? Like, no doubt. You're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. Do you know how to have smart goals, right? The goals where things are really specific and then you can reverse engineer the path on how to get there. Do you know how to leverage your time so you have multiple income streams, not grinding away at the 9 to 5 or more? Let's be honest, a lot of us have had to have more than one job. And a lot of retirees are having to go back and get a job because they're running out of retirement. Inflation, we've all seen it, we've all experienced it. So the amount of dollars that are right now in that account, in that fund, they just don't go as far as they used to. So you need another way to be generating some income. And you don't want to have to spend all your hours doing it. Say legacy if you want the details.